You know, you don't always have to be great at what you choose. There's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be a better painter. There's always going to be a better guitar player. There's always going to be a faster runner or a smarter guy or whatever. But like where I excel and where you can excel is just having like a gross work ethic, just an undeniable passion for what it is that you love. When they're eating, you got to be working. When they're sleeping, you got to be working. When they're working, you got to be working twice as hard. So that's really where I excel. It's just having a work ethic and a passion. And you know, you don't have to, there's something special inside of everybody, you know what I mean? So you don't have to like be an exceptional painter or an exceptional rapper or an exceptional guitar player or whatever it is. All you have to do is find what's special about you and let your truth bleed through whichever form you choose to express yourself with. And yeah, and that's how you be the best. That's how you be better than the people that are more skillful than you. You just be more authentic. You just be more yourself. You just give people what nobody else is giving people, and you'll be all right. It's the same thing for me. Like some nights it's really tough. Some nights it's not tough. Some nights it's really hard until I get on stage. Some nights it doesn't happen until I get on stage. I think that's the nature of living with things like anxiety and depression and dealing with mental illness. They're like constantly changing and evolving, and it's just like a day-by-day thing that you have to constantly sort of re-strategize how to win the war, and that's it. So I don't have any one answer for that. It's just like every day you just got to figure out a new way to get through it, or you don't, and you let it start really fucking up your life. So I'm just still learning how to like not be extremely hard on myself. It's just like that internal dialogue that everybody has. My internal dialogue is just like inherently negative for some reason. Nothing's ever good enough. Everything's always shitty. Everything sucks. Like I know I've made some like good songs, but like my inner dialogue is always like, it's not good enough, it's not that good, blah, 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 blah. So the hardest lesson for me to learn is learning that inner dialogue that's fueled by anxiety and depression and stuff. Your mental illness is a liar, your inner dialogue is a liar. My hardest lesson is learning how to step back, observe that inner dialogue and that narrative that you tell yourself, and sort of decipher what's accurate about it and what's not so accurate. So that's an ongoing lesson that I'm learning, and it's better now than it was before, and I hope the upward swing continues. Don't write about things that you don't know about. It's really easy to tell when somebody is telling somebody else's story or coming from a place that isn't genuine. When I started writing music, I was listening to like G-Unit and Eminem and all this gangster shit. And I was like young, so I didn't have my own story to tell. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was here to do. So I was telling the story of a lot of other rappers that I heard on the radio and that I saw in music videos and stuff like that. So I think the best way to sort of take your writing to the next level is to just like be vulnerable and be authentic and be genuine. If you work at 7-Eleven, rap about that. If you fix refrigerators, rap about that. If you're a dog walker, rap about that. Rap about what you know. Because at the end of the day, above anything, above dope beats, above famous rappers, above anything, people gravitate towards the truth, and people know what's truth and what's bullshit. So be the truth, be you. That should help sort of push your writing to the next level, and it will probably help get some eyes on your stuff. So there you go. How did you find the courage to fully speak your mind? There have been many things I wanted to say to people, but I'm afraid to hurt their feelings or make people mad at me. I don't think I didn't just like one day like find the courage to speak my mind, you know what I mean? I just always have just said what I said, and if you don't like it, too fucking bad for you. That's just like always been me. Like I've never really thought too much about the repercussions of anything, to be honest, which has been both positive and negative in my life. But yeah, that's really what it is. I've always just like, I don't care. I'm gonna just say what I say. Like, what, the internet is gonna be mad at me? I don't give a fuck. So I guess that's really what it is. You just gotta realize, like, what's the worst thing that could happen from you speaking your mind? Is your family gonna be mad? Are your friends gonna be mad? Is the internet gonna be angry? Like, who gives a shit if the internet's angry, first of all? Is your family gonna be mad? Maybe. They're gonna get over it. Are your friends gonna be mad? Maybe. They're gonna get over it. If your friends and your family are gonna like exile you for just speaking your mind, then like, why would you want to spend any time around those people anyway, you know? And yeah, dude, maybe that's a smart move, you know what I mean? To have the backup plan, to have like the whatever it is job waiting for you if you know, your dream doesn't work out or whatever. But sort of like the way that I've always seen it is, I have plan A and that's it. To me, it's like plan B just fucking distracts from plan A. There's no reason to have a plan B. If you really truly believe in plan A, then just go for it. Plan B is just a distraction. It creates a sense of comfort. And a lot of the times, the things that push us past the limit, that push us into a successful zone, is knowing that like your survival depends on it. So I think that plan A is all you need. Plan B is a distraction. Plan B is a safety net that just makes you feel comfortable, that makes you not feel like you're fighting for your life every day. And it's just a bad idea. So no, I don't have a backup plan. This is it. What was it that gave you the push you needed to follow your heart and your dreams? How did it happen? I've always just, like I said, man, I just do what I do. I don't care. I know what I want and I'm gonna go get it. It was, you know, along the way, like my parents were like very, very supportive and always encouraged me to chase my dreams and to, you know, stay driven and stay focused on what it was I wanted. So it's just a combination of like me knowing what I want and knowing what I have to do to get it, and my parents like really encouraging me and validating my dreams and yeah, just pushing me to go the distance. So that's it. Says, hi Tom, I love your stuff. You're not afraid to tell the truth. My question is, how do you deal with the backlash that comes when you tell the truth? I don't, Brandon. I don't really deal with the backlash. I don't have to. I don't answer. No, you don't have to. You know, that's the thing. Like, people are so scared to like talk about what they view as the truth on like social media, because they're like afraid that like the internet is gonna get angry. And it's just like, yo, man, like, you realize like you don't answer to the internet. It doesn't, like, the internet's opinion like doesn't fucking matter like at all. It literally does not matter at all. You don't answer to the internet. You don't answer to anybody but yourself. That's it. So yeah, that's how I handle the backlash. I just don't, because I don't give a fuck. One of my biggest things is this: never censor yourself to make other people feel more comfortable. That's not your fucking job. If you're just being you and that's making other people feel bad, and you're not you know, you're not doing anything harmful to these people, you're literally just doing you and being happy and enjoying yourself, and that is making other people feel bad, it's not your job to comfort those people. It's those people's job to like thicken their fucking skin up and, you know, and just take it. I don't view my stuff as controversial. That is a word that the internet has sort of coined in relation to my music, which is fucking ridiculous. It's just like funny that like anybody talking about anything that the internet doesn't want to hear, the internet's like, oh, it's controversial. It's controversial because I don't agree with it. And shut the fuck up, man. Now, like everybody knows, I had this big mental breakdown like 4 or 5 years ago, and that just taught me a lot about myself. And I sort of figured out, as awful as it was also really great, because it just taught me who I am, what I'm here for, what's important to me, what I want to say. Standing on a hill in my mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. I took my chances on a big jet plane, never let them tell you that they're all the same. And that just speaks fucking volumes to me. I think my biggest fear is that we are unsuccessful and we fail at this. But like, that fear is also the driving force it's the driving force behind doing better and doing bigger and being more impressive and working harder and evolving and changing and updating the craft and just getting better. So I think that's my biggest fear, but the fear is also the fuel. So it is what it is. This is the honest truth, man. Like, a lot of people think that I have some overtly like good intentions, or that I'm, you know, trying to make the world better or like whatever. And it's like, it's not about, I'm not here to make the world a better place. I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to just like express myself and the things that I think and the things that I feel, put those things out into the world. Through that, finding the people that feel similar or that think similar things, and hopefully affect their life in a positive way. That's like really what it's about for me. Is like, I'm just out here trying to just do me and express myself, and I hope that helps other people out there. But like, that's how I think locally. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help person to person to person. I don't think globally, like I'm trying to make the world a better place or anything like that. I think that's really self-righteous, and that's just like not what I'm about. So I'm trying to help me by making the music. I'm trying to help other people by putting the music out. And if like helping a lot of people in turn ends up improving the world, then that's great. But like, I would never say like, my goal is to be popular, or my goal is to help the planet. I'm just trying to do what I'm doing, and if that helps people, then that's great. What advice do you have for someone wanting to start making YouTube videos? Just like I said earlier, just be authentic, just be you, and the people will come. Everybody is like afraid. It's like chasing your dream in the society the way that it is now, with bills and rent, and it's hard out there. It's hard to like make a living off your dream or whatever. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff and just wondering, should I jump off this thing, and what happens if I hit the ground? And that's like the fear, is what happens if I hit the ground. But you just have to like get over that fear, and just, it's not about what's gonna happen when I hit the ground. It's about, if I jump, is it gonna make me happy? So you have to jump and just believe that you're not gonna hit the ground. Because everything that you've ever wanted in life, the promised land, that happiness, that satisfaction, the fulfillment that most people chase, it's right on the other side of fear. It's literally like right there. And that's why most people don't ever attain their dreams, or, you know, accomplish the things that they want to accomplish, because they're scared of failing, or they're scared of something else. But it's just like right immediately on the other side of that fear is everything that you've ever wanted. So you just gotta just like step through it, and you're good. So you just need to do like what's in here and what's in here, and just let that speak for itself. And if that's fresh and new, then great. And if it's old and lame, then great. Who cares? At least it came from the heart, you know? You have to like get to know yourself and figure out like where the problem is. Because when you have like some sort of, you know, mental issue come up in life, the first thing the doctors and stuff like that try to do is throw medicine at it. And the thing about medicine for mental health is that like, it's like putting a Band-Aid on like a giant cut you have on your arm. You can put the Band-Aid on your arm and it may stop the bleeding temporarily, but eventually that Band-Aid's gonna come off and that thing's gonna start bleeding again, and it might even be worse than the first time. By all means, take the medicine, but just be careful about like what you're doing. Take the medicine to give yourself some peace and some calm, and bide yourself some time. And while you're taking the medicine, look inward and figure out what it is about yourself. Figure out where the problem started. Figure out the root of the problem. Once you've identified the problem, you can solve the problem, then you can come off the medication, and then you can do other things like just be kind to yourself, go to therapy, exercise, get on a clean diet, quit doing drugs and alcohol, etc., etc., etc. That's what I had to do anyways. And the quote next to him says, "If you don't know where the fire started, you will surely burn in it." And that's really about mental health. If you don't know where the fire started, you will surely burn in it. If you don't know where the problem started, you'll never solve it, and it'll eat you alive. So that's what I'd say. Identify the problem and go from there. I don't not drink. I drink. I just drink for the right reasons. I do it sparingly. Anxiety typically comes from like worrying about something that like hasn't happened yet. And I think if you can bring yourself back to the moment and be present with yourself, I think you can sort of feel better faster. So I try to do something with my hands that like just brings me into the moment. I've said it before, but I think that depression and anxiety kind of work together. And I think depression is comes from past experiences and things that have happened in the past, and anxiety comes from worrying about things that haven't happened yet in the future. And I think the only way to combat the past and the future is to be present and be one with right now. And if you can live in now and be present now, I think it helps me anyways. I feel better a lot faster. So I just do things that help bring me back to the moment. Yes, I'm happy with where I'm at, but I do want more, and it's that drive for more that will just improve the music and the videos and everything else. So yeah, I try to stay away from being content. I think contentment often leads to like laziness. The most pressure I ever felt is just from me, because my big thing is like every time I release a song or an album or a video, like I'm always trying to, in one way or another, outdo myself, whether it's better melodies or a better flow or a cooler topic or a better beat or a more impressive looking video or whatever it is. In one way, shape, or form, I'm always trying to outdo myself. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to do those things and to deliver those things to you guys. So that's like, that's the greatest pressure for me. I wouldn't change anything, not for the world. There's no way. I would never wish those things away about myself. Yes, there were awful things that happened in my life, but I'm one of those people that believes that like everything happens for a reason. It like smartened me up. It taught me a lot about myself. It made me really like find myself and figure out the music thing. It made me stop drinking and stop doing like a bunch of destructive shit I was doing to myself and the people around me. And then if I didn't experience the acute anxiety and the paralyzing depression and stuff like that, I would have never been able to make songs about these things and help other people with those songs. So if I wish those things away about myself, if I wish those things away, I would have never gained the experience to help a shit ton of people who say that I've legitimately helped them. And just on the basis of that being to help other people, I would never wish my experiences away. Society and the government and the powers that be and blah 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 blah, they try to like convince you that like your differences like are weaknesses, and your problems are like weaknesses, whether that's like your sexual preference or your political ideals or your skin color or the religion that you subscribe to, or your anxiety or your depression or your physical unwellness or whatever. They try to convince you that these things are like weaknesses. And if there's one thing that I know for fucking sure, is that if the government tells you one thing, it's usually the exact opposite. So when society and the government are telling you, those are your weaknesses, those are your weaknesses, your differences are your weaknesses, really, like what I hear is, okay, these things are my greatest fucking strengths. So I need to figure out how to harness these things and use them for good. And that's really what it is. So my, I guess my greatest weaknesses are, you know, the anxiety and depression and blah, 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 blah. Of being able to harness those and help other people with them. So that's important.